So do you want to go ahead and take the roll call, please, Denise?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Good afternoon, members. You're hereby summoned to attend the bi-monthly meeting of the Assurance, Audit and Risk Committee, a hybrid meeting being conducted both remotely and physically in the Council chamber today at 4 p.m. I proceed to take the roll. Alderman Darren Guy. Alderman Keith Kerrigan. Alderman David Ramsey. Councillor Michaela Boyle. Councillor Sean Carr.
Here, Denise.
Councillor Emmett Doyle.
Here, Denise.
Councillor Stephen Edwards. Councillor Paul Fleming. Councillor John McGowan. Councillor Philip McKinney. Councillor Maeve O'Neill.
Here.
Councillor Martin Riley.
Here, Denise.
Councillor Lillian Sino Barr. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thanks, Denise. I'm not sure all who's in the chamber, but are we quoted? Yeah.
Yeah, we are quoted. We have Councillor Doyle in the chamber, along with myself, James Horrigan and Uno Doherty, and the Chief Executive, John's here, along with the committee clerk and IT, and we're quoted, Martin, yeah.
No, that's fine. Thank you for that. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if other elected members have had the same issue. I know some of my colleagues have had over the weekend. ModGov isn't loading. It isn't allowing me to have access to the papers. Right now, I did have a chance to look at them previously when they were circulated. I know they're available online, so I'm working off the online version that's on the council website. So members, just bear with me as we toggle between the screens here. Item number 2 is a member's attendance and apology. So unless there's any other apologies to add, we move on to item 3, which is the broadcasting statement. Denise, can you read that, please?
Yeah, no problem. Chair, if I could just add there is a problem with ModGov at the minute, but James is here from IT and has said that he can put the link into the chat. And if members wish to click on that link and use their own password and ID, they'll be able to access the papers then.
That's great. Thanks.
Proceed with the broadcasting statement. I would like to remind everyone present at this meeting in the Guildhall or in attendance remotely that this meeting will be broadcast live to the internet and will be capable of repeated viewing. This broadcast may be terminated or suspended in accordance with our protocol. Due to your attendance at this meeting, you're consenting to being filmed and to the use and storage of those images for broadcasting or training purposes and for the purpose of keeping historical records and making those records available to the public. Members and approved speakers are reminded to only have their mics and cameras on while speaking at the meeting and to use the chat facility to highlight a request to speak. A copy of the Council privacy notice may be found on the Council website. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Denise. Moving on to item 4, declarations of members' interests. You can verbalise them now or put them in the chat box, please. And if I don't see any coming in, we move on to the next item, which is item 5, chairperson's business. Members, I'm not going to raise any issues myself on chairperson's business, and nobody has approached me looking to come in under chairperson's business. So members, we're going to move to item 6, which is the matters arising from the open minutes of the Audit, Assurance and Risk Committee held on the 26th of September, pages 1 to 10. So we're going to take those for accuracy first, and any matters arising now. If anyone wants to come in, please indicate. And if not, then happy to take those as approved. Thank you, IT, for putting the message into there. And I see Alderman Darren Guy is present as well, so we'll get you marked in, Darren. If not, can I have a proposer and a seconder for the minutes, please?
I'll propose them, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Doyle. Seconder, please.
I'll second them. Alderman Kerrigan here, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Keith, for that. Okay, members, that moves us on to item 7, which is the report to those charged with governance. It says 2012 on the agenda. I'm assuming that's meant to be 2021 to 2022. So handing back to officers for item 7.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm going to invite Colette Kane from the Audit Office to take us through that.
Good afternoon, members.
So we're presenting the final report to those charged with governance to members. This is the final version of the report we presented at the September Assurance Audit and Risk Committee. I can confirm that the financial statements, since the last meeting, I can confirm the financial statements of the Council were certified by me on the 29th of September. And as is noted in the covering paper, the audit certificate included what's called an emphasis of matter paragraph, which refers to the continuing uncertainty regarding the funding of the City of Derry Airport. As presented at the last meeting, we made 6 recommendations, 2 priority 2s and 4 priority 3s. All recommendations have been accepted and some actions are already underway. And we welcome the responses from management to those recommendations. Chair, I'm content to take any questions on the report that members might have.
Thank you for that, Colette. Okay, open that up to the floor if anyone has any questions that they wish to pose. And if not, can we have a proposer for the report from Colette, please?
Happy to propose.
Okay, thank you, Councillor O'Neill.
I'll second, Chair.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Doyle. Okay, thank you, Colette, for that. Members, moving on to item 8, which is the Northwest Region Waste Management Group report, again to those charged with governance. Again, hand back to Denise to take us through this.
Thanks, Chair. And again, I'm going to pass over to Colette.
Okay, thanks, Denise and Colette.
Thank you, Chair. This is a bit of a strange one, Chair, because this is the draft of the report to those charged with governance. And actually, since the papers have been released, we have actually signed off on these accounts. Actually, I signed them last week on the 14th of November. So there was a delay with the audit. Well, there was a delay with the completion of the audit. Because the public notice, which is required under legislation, advertising the audit had not been published, and therefore we had to wait till that was completed. But as you can see from the draft report to those charged with governance, there was no recommendations made as a result of the audit, and there was no uncorrected misstatements to bring to your attention. It was a very clean and clean audit, and I'm content to take any questions on that report. You will get this report back in a final version probably at the next meeting as well. Okay,
yeah, no, thanks for that, Colette. It's good to see it is relatively straightforward. Again, as with the previous item, opening it up to the floor for comment if anyone wants to ask any questions of Colette. And then again, if not, I need a proposer and a seconder, please.
Happy to propose.
Chair, I can second it here, Alderman Kerrigan.
Thank you for that, folks. Sorry, who was the proposer? Sorry.
The independent member, Chair.
Okay, yeah,
Thanks.
thank you, Bona. Sorry, I didn't see which of the screens lit up when it started speaking. So thank you for that, Bona, and thanks, Alderman Kerrigan. And thank you, Councillor Edwards, who's joined us as well online. We'll get your attendance recorded. Okay, moving on to the next item, which is item 9, which is health, safety and wellbeing.
Thank you, Chair. The purpose of this report is to provide members with an update from the recent Health, Safety and Wellbeing Committee, which was held on the 13th of October, and to seek members' continued endorsement for the health and safety systems that we have here in Council. The Corporate Health and Safety Wellbeing meeting meets quarterly and is chaired by the Chief Executive, attended by the Directors, Lead Officers and Union representatives. The committee forms an important part of our ISO 45001 Health and Safety Management System review, and it provides ourselves a chance to update senior management within the Council on progress of the health and safety performance throughout our organisation. So the summary report, which was presented and discussed at that meeting, is attached in Appendix C. The covalent reports, which is Council's health and safety objectives and targets, was discussed and progress reported for each directorate. They too are attached in Appendix D through to G. Compliance training has been a key corporate risk for us this year following the pandemic, but we're glad to report back that that has significantly improved over the last 2 reporting quarters. The internal audit summary is attached and information is held within Appendix H. The most recent external audit was carried out on the 13th and 14th of October. As yet, we do not have the final report through, but it will be presented to a future Assurance Audit and Risk Committee once we receive that report. The report for the audit, which was completed in March 2020, is attached in Appendix I for members' information. The committee also discussed our accident and incident data, and the committee further discussed projects relating to corporate risks that we face in relation to statutory regulations such as Legionella control of contractors and FACLA-related incidences. There are no implications arising from this report, and members are asked to note the content of the report and continue to endorse the health and safety management systems within Council. Happy to take any questions that members may have.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Again, open it up to the floor for any questions or comments, please. And again, we need a proposer for the item, please.
Chair Brona here, happy to propose, Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Bona. Again, looking for a seconder, please, members.
Chair, happy to second Councillor Edwards.
Okay, thank you,
Good man,
Councillor.
Stephen.
And then I also see Councillor McGowan's joined online as well. Thank you, John, for joining us. I appreciate you had some IT difficulties. Okay, members, that moves us to item 10, which is the risk review processes and update on council service risk registers. So we're going to head back to officers again to take us through this item.
Thanks, Chair. Members, the purpose of this report is to update you and seek your continued endorsement on the risk review processes in place within our risk management strategy, and to provide an update on the service risk registers reviews which have been completed since April to October. So in that period, a number of service risk registers have been reviewed and completely updated, and those are listed there in the report, members, for your information. Members will be aware now that all of the service risk registers details potential risks which may prevent the delivery of service objective. The registers record risks and summarises key sources of assurance and controls which are in place to manage these risks. A sample of the risk registers which have been reviewed during the period have been included there for members' information. On review of the completed risk registers attached, members will note that all risks identified have controls in place, and where there are high scoring risks, further actions are in place to ensure that all efforts are being taken to mitigate against that risk occurring. There's a further report there, members, attached for your information, which details the current high and critical scoring risk within those service risk registers which have been reviewed since April. At this stage, there's one risk which is high on the waste and environmental management risk register. And as members will note there, there's a number of controls in place to mitigate that risk further. Stated previously, the key to monitoring any risk register is to ensure the controls are in place to mitigate the risks, and action plans are developed for high scoring risks. And as a section, we are satisfied that action plans are in place for high scoring risks within the organisations. There are no implications for this report, members, and happy to take any comments or questions you may have. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again, Denise, for that. Okay, members, there's quite a number of risk registers there. Any comments or any questions for officers in relation to those items, please? And if not, can I have a proposer for them, please?
Propose, Chair.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Doyle. And then a seconder, please.
I'll second it, Chair. Alderman Kerrigan.
Okay, thank you.
I'm happy to second them, Martin.
Okay, thanks, Alderman Kerrigan and Councillor Edwards. I see Councillor McGowan has also given apologies for Councillor Michaela Boyle, so we can record apologies for Councillor Michaela Boyle, please. Okay, members, that leads us on to item 11, which is open for information, which is the performance report. Unless anyone has any questions or any issues they wanted to raise in relation to item 11, I would just take that as noted. Okay, so not seeing anyone wanting to come in on that item. Denise, I'm just checking because of the fact that I'm accessing the papers online. Is there any confidential business that's not published online that we need to take?
No, Chair, there's no confidential business this month, thanks.
Yep, that's what I thought. I just double checked. Okay, members, that concludes today's business, which has been fairly swift. But obviously a huge amount of work goes into the various different pieces of reports and papers that have been presented to us today. So I thank you for your time and thank officers for the presentations, and we'll draw today's meeting to a close. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.